Joining me now is Iowa Congresswoman Ashley Hinson. Congresswoman, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. What can you tell us about the reconciliation package and whether or not it's going to make your own Memorial Day deadline?
Yeah. Well, good morning, Maria. I'm hopeful that we're able to keep this progress moving for the American people. You know, this is really the tone that President Trump has set for all of us, which is promises made, promises kept. I'm hopeful we're able to get this all done in one big, beautiful bill, because the American people certainly can't stand a tax increase, which is what our Democrat colleagues will certainly continue to push for. So I'm hopeful we're able to keep that moving. The Speaker has set an ambitious deadline, but our committees have been working hard at this for over a year to get this policy right. This is our time to unleash that new American golden age, as President Trump has called for. 77 million Americans are counting on us to get this done. And certainly in Iowa, in my district, if we do not protect them from this tax increase that would otherwise happen, they would see about a 25% increase in their taxes. And I can tell you, I did a town hall last week. Americans don't want to see their taxes go up, Maria.
No, but I mean, some of your colleagues still won't get on board. I mean, you look at somebody like, you know, a Tom Massey or Victoria Spartz, who are not set yet on agreement. Have you identified enough offsets for some of the colleagues that want to see more spending cuts?
Yeah, well, and that's something we're certainly working through. I think the president's priorities of no tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, working through those and trying to find ways to make that happen. You know, I'm hopeful that at the very minimum, we can make the tax cuts that were passed in 2017 permanent. As I go through the district and hear from folks back in Iowa, they constantly are telling me what they need is that certainty. They need to know that they can make those investments. Look at the investments President Trump has already secured just in the last couple of weeks with his changes that he's making to the economy. Over 20% increase in investment here. Our businesses are ready to do the same. They just need that uncertainty alleviated, which they've had under, unfortunately, 4 years of Biden's economy, which really just tanked investment and jobs and increased inflation in the country. So, again, the Ways and Means Committee has been working on this for a year. I believe they're still working to find consensus to get this across the finish line. And all these priorities, you know, unleashing American energy, making sure that we're protecting our border while still protecting Americans' hard-earned taxpayer dollars. That's what I'm fighting for, and I know that's what President Trump's fighting for.
So 3 House Democrats have withdrawn their names from the impeachment resolution introduced this week by the Democrats. 2 lawmakers explaining that they removed their names after learning that the resolution was not reviewed by leadership. Although New York Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez claims she's keeping her options open. Watch this.
We should never take impeachment off the table. We should never take where we see law breaking. We should never take accountability off the table. Impeachment exists for a reason, and it should absolutely be on the table. It should be on the table for every president. Every president should know that if you break the law, you could be prone to removal from office.
Congressman, what specifically do you think she's talking about in terms of break the law, in terms of impeachment? I mean, we're going through all of these successes that this administration has had and trying to take a look at the impact on the economy. Do you know what she's talking about?
Well, they have no strategy. They have no plan. They have no leader. I mean, if you're talking AOC and Bernie Sanders as the thought leaders for the Democrat Party, I mean, I think this country's really headed in the wrong direction if that's who they're putting up. But their only plan is to blindly hate President Trump. We've seen this playbook before. You know, this is what they did when they had control of the House just a few years ago. I was proud to vote against one of those impeachments because I think that they were completely politically motivated. And I think what they should be doing is working with House Republicans to execute on the agenda that 77 million American people voted for. Look what President Trump did. He cleaned up the border in just 7 weeks. So in this first 100 days, we went from thousands upon thousands of border crossings and gotaways to minimal, under single digits we're talking here. So again, as the president said, we didn't need legislation to fix that. We just needed a new president. So I think the Democrats in Congress should wake up, work with us, House Republicans, to get these priorities of the American people across the finish line.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. I mean, look, it's been a very successful first 100 days, but now the next 30 days put you and your colleagues in the spotlight, right? I mean, President Trump says he's made no mistakes in the first 100 days in office. He had a lengthy cabinet meeting on day 101 yesterday. But I guess I want to get to what's going to be the next move, because this upcoming 30 days is critical. Are you and your colleagues going to meet the moment?
Yeah, I believe we are, Maria. We're working hard to do this, and I do believe we have a very limited window to get these priorities done for the American people so that we can continue to show results heading into an election year. That's absolutely critical. Look, I believe that we were elected to get these priorities across the finish line. We are good at building consensus in the House, even with a very, very narrow majority. We've gotten some things across the finish line, and people always love to count us out, but I'm always an optimist until I can't be any longer. Certainly, there are frustrating days here, but I believe we're advancing the ball, and I do think we'll get this done, hopefully by the 4th of July. And what a celebration that would be for our country.
You mean the 4th of July being the time that the bill will be on the president's desk to sign?
Yes, I certainly hope so, and I think that our speaker laying out the priorities in terms of the timeline and making that expectation clear for all of our committees as well, I'm hopeful we're able to get that done.
Congressman, we'll be watching your work. Thanks so much for being here.